Alright, so we are going to be using the Microsoft Word software to draw diagrams. So we are just going to replicate what we see here. Okay, we are going to replicate it, though it is not going to be to scale, especially this quadratic, but I will show you another way how you can make it to be to scale. Okay, now I start by drawing my coordinate axis, the x and the y axis. So I go to insert, I go to shapes, I take the line arrow, then I draw it going vertically upwards, then I give any coloration I want. I just give it the normal coloration, which is the dark coloration. You can increase the length as well as you can decrease the length. If you want it to be at an angle, you can also rotate it. Okay, but anyways, we just need to put it vertical. Now we take the very line arrow and then we draw horizontally. Now you can check the the properties of this line. You see that the width of that is the height with respect to the horizontal is 0.05. okay, so it means that it's not purely vertical. So you just click on this drop down here, it takes it to 0, so it is now purely horizontal. Now this is just the length. You can increase the length as well as you can decrease the length. All right, now I'm also going to give it a dark coloration. Then after doing this, I'm going to group these two lines. It's very good to group, because if you don't group, you see, if I'm pressing something, it's going to scatter. If you don't group, you'll not be able to move everything in your drawing from one place to another. Okay, because if I want to move everything here, you see, I'll be able to move just individual parts. So to group, you select one of them, then you press the control key. Once you press the control key on your keyboard, you go close to the other shape you want to group, and then you're going to see this that is, at first you realize that the pointer is not, there is no pointer even, but once I press the control key, and in fact once I select this, I press the control key and then I go closer to this image, you see what happens. I select it as well, then I right click on one of the shapes. Make sure you right click on one of the shapes. You right click on one of the shapes, you take group, you click on group. You see, you're now able to move it from one place to another. Now the next thing to do is, okay, we need to draw this thing that resembles a parabola. The best to do is to go to insert, and then you take this shape that we call an arc. You select the arc and then you just draw any arc of your choice, then you try to adjust it to fit what you want. Okay, so I just try to, you see, I'm shaping the arc to resemble what I want. All right, it's not making sense now, but don't bother, very soon it's going to make sense, because you can rotate it. Okay, so basically that's just kind of, since you are sketching, it's not to scale, then you just need to drag it and put it here. Now it is a little bit too large, so I'm going to bring it together. Okay, yes, now we have to shift it down. In fact, let it just meet the origin. That is it. Okay, now I think we have to increase it a little bit. Let me see, we have to increase the size, right? We need to increase the length vertically upward. So all I'm doing is, okay, I just want to have a shape that looks like a parabola. All right, so like I said, we can increase the length vertically upwards. Okay, now I also take the dark coloration. Then after taking the dark coloration, but I think it is okay. Then I group. I've selected, I come to the other guy, I select, right click, group. That is it. You see, I can move everything from one place to another. Now I have to decrease the length of this man, so I decrease the length of this. I think also here we also need to decrease the length. Okay, now we are done. Next, we now need to put the x, the y axis, and all these writings here. So we go to text box, we click on text box, we draw a text box, we write inside the text box y, that is a vertical axis y. Now I need to format the text box, I adjust it. Then you see, actually this is a text box. If I move this text box from this position to this position, it covers this diagram. So for us to make the text box to be free, okay, we have to right click on it, we take fill, we take no fill, we take outline, we take no outline. It makes it to be free. We can now move it and place it at the y axis. Then we select and group. Now from here I'll just be copying and pasting this text box, then adjusting. Okay, I'm just copying and pasting. Then to draw another text box, I'll just copy, paste, and adjust to x. Then I move it from this position. Then I select this other guy, I right click and I group. I paste again, y equal to 2x times 3 minus x. That's the graph of the quadratic. And then I can increase this. This is what we have. We paste, we place it here, then I do the grouping process. Now the next thing to do is, okay, we need a line. So I go to shapes, I take a line, I start the line from the y axis and I draw it any orientation you want. But let's just resemble the diagram. I give it a dark coloration. You can give it any coloration of your choice, okay, if you want to lay emphasis. Then you make sure you always group, so that I can be able to move from one place to another. Okay, now the next thing to do is I paste again. I copied something already, so I'm just kind of pasting. I put E, I drag the E from this position to this position, then I select, I group, I paste again, the origin O, I place it here, I select, right click and group, I paste again. Oh, sorry about that. I paste again. Now we have A and B, so that is A, this is B. Now there is also C, so here is C, okay, here is C, I group, here is A. We are going to draw a vertical line before we place A, but I can confidently place B at this position. Okay, and now we have the point Z and arrow as well. So arrow, according to the equation, is a region. That is why it is not close to any points. Then Z is this point here. I group. Now we are left with A. So I take a vertical line, I take a line, I begin from the point C, then I draw it, I make it to be vertical. I try to check if it is purely vertical by making this guy to be 0. I give it a dark coloration, then I group with everything. Okay, now I take A here, I place at this position, and I'm done with my diagram. Okay, so that is it. If you want it to be to scale, we have to use an external application. Then we import the image, or we copy the image, then we adjust using the Microsoft software. Okay, so to do that, I have a graphing calculator already. I sketched it already. Okay, so this is y equal to 2x times 3 minus x. All I need to do is I just have to copy, then I come back to this software, then I insert, I paste. Now this is it. But now I don't need this graph to be here, so I double click on it, that is left double click. I go to transparent, I go to anyway, let's go to corrections. We go to corrections, and then we try to look for a correction that will make the graph lines to disappear. This correction is the best. Now from here I have to crop, okay, because according to my diagram this portion is not involved. I have to crop it. I can even crop this horizontal line. Now as well, in my diagram there were no numbers, so I have to crop even this. I have to crop even this vertical line. You just have to be exact. Now I have to crop downwards this space and this space. Okay, now I'm done with the cropping. So this is the exact quadratic curve that I have. Okay, this is the exact quadratic curve that I have. Now you see, according to this, I cannot move it from one place to another, so I click on this. I go to write with text wrapping. I click on this, then I can move it from one place to another. I can adjust it to suit me. Okay, then the next thing to do is that I just have to come and introduce the rest of these things. So I'm not going to redraw everything. I'll just have to, let me see, I'm going to copy this diagram. Okay, I will copy it and then I paste, then I remove the quadratic that I remove the quadratic. So I paste it, then after pasting, all I need to do is, okay, eliminate this quadratic curve. Now after doing that, I just have to carry it and bring it to this guy here, and I try to fit it within. Okay, so this is what we have. Then we try to group even with this image. Then we try to shift these guys. We try to shift these guys. So my line, I'll take a little bit, I'll try to, yeah, anyway, so put the line like that. I can increase the horizontal axis, the length of the horizontal axis. I can try to increase it so the line should kind of be inside. Okay, now my point A, I have to increase the length of that vertical line so it perfectly hits the point A. This is a problem. You see, this line is not vertical, so I need to make it to be purely vertical. Okay, now increase the length. Okay, now just bring a point A here, the region R is here, the point E is here. I can increase the length of the vertical axis as well. So when you increase, it increases vertically downwards. So when you do that, you can shift it. You can press the on your keyboard. Just to adjust. It's too long even. I have to decrease it. It's too slow, so I'll do it manually. Okay, now I think we are done, right? We just have to place this point in their various locations. Alright, so you see I've been able to do this, and I can move from one place to another. So that's it for the video. See you guys in the next video. And we have this D here. But anyways, just try to follow and try to see if you can reproduce. It's very easy. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.